Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the Granny Hybrid Shawl, where the Granny Shawl meets the Virus Shawl. So, this is what you should have. You should have a total of 9 rows of the Granny Shawl, and then 1 complete scallop of the Virus. So now we're going to transition back from the Virus to the Granny. And this is how we're going to do it. You're going to attach your yarn, if you're doing more than one color, right in the chain 3, or the top of the double crochet that you last worked. So you're going to start out with a chain of 3, and then in that chain space, you're going to do 2 double crochet. Just like that. And just like always, you're going to chain 1. Now what you're going to do is you're going to skip this next chain space, and you're going to do 3 double crochet in the next chain space. So I'll move it over here a little bit so you can see better. And chain 1. Now, just as before, you're going to skip the next chain space and go into the next one. And you're going to do 3 double crochets. And after every cluster of 3 double crochets, you're going to chain 1. Now skip the chain space, go into the next chain space, and do your cluster of 3 double crochets, and chain 1. And again, you're going to skip the chain space, go into the next chain space, and do your 3 double crochet cluster. And for those of you who don't know how to double crochet, you're going to yarn over your hook, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up a loop. Yarn over, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Yarn over, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Now here we've come to this space right here. You're going to treat that as if it's a chain space, even though there is no chain. And you're going to skip that, and you're going to go into the next chain space. And you're going to do your 3 double crochet cluster. So I want you guys to go and do that all the way until you reach this one. And I'll show you what to do when it comes to this big scallop. So go ahead and do that. Alright, so here we are right before the big scallop, and I'm going to do this step by step with you so that you know exactly what to do. Chain 1 as always. You're still treating this like it's a chain space, and you're going to go into the next chain space and do your double crochet cluster and chain 1. So do that again, skip, and go into the next chain space. Chain 1, skip the next space, and go into the next one. And you're going to do that one more time. So it's going to be just like normal. One last time. And then chain one. So now it's going to get a little tricky. But not really. Instead of skipping one chain space, you're going to skip two, and you're going to go into the third. Just like that. And if you look at where that is, it's right here in the middle. So now you're going to chain two, and then you're going to do another double crochet cluster. And then you're going to have the center all over again, just like right here. And then you're going to repeat what we just did on this side, right back down this side. So go ahead and do that, and I'll let you know how many rows of the granny shawl you need to do after this foundation row after the virus. Alright, so I saved the very last stitch for us to do together. To end the row, 2 double crochet in the last chain space, and then find the third chain of the previous row, just like that, and you're going to do your double crochet there. So that is how you transition from the granny to the virus and back to the granny. So I do want to let you guys know that you don't have to do just one little piece of the granny square and then one little piece of the virus. If you want to do 2 rows of scallops, go right ahead. How you transition back is exactly the same. The only difference is the number of rows of the granny shawl that you do after is going to change. Now for this, for the second section of the granny shawl, you're going to need a total of 7 rows. So this would be 1, then you need 6 more. So go ahead and do that, and then if you want, you can go right in and repeat what we did with the virus, or you could stick around and watch how we transition back, just so that you get the hang of it. Alright, so you should have, for the second section of the granny shawl meets the virus, so the granny hybrid shawl, you should have a total of 7 rows, and you should be starting your next section of the virus. So you're going to do that exactly how you did it before, which is chain 6, go into the very next chain space, and single crochet. Then you're going to chain 3, go into the next chain space, and you're going to single crochet, and you're going to chain 3 again, go into the next chain space, and single crochet, chain 3 one more time, go into the next chain space, and single crochet. Then chain 6, and single crochet in the next chain space. And you're going to repeat that all the way to the centerpiece. So go ahead and do that, and I'll show you again how you make the big scallop right here. Alright, so all along the side you should have your chain 6, your chain 3, and chain 3. Now what you're going to do to be able to create the big arc is you're going to chain 6, you're going to single crochet in the chain 2 space, then you're going to chain 6, and you're going to single crochet in the next space. So there's your chain 6, single crochet in the chain 2 space, chain 6, and single crochet in the next space. So now you're going to repeat your chain 3, and chain 3. And with each chain 3 and chain 6, you're going to single crochet in each chain space. So 1, 2, and 3, single crochet in the next chain space, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet in the next space, 1, 2, and 3, and single crochet in the next space. So your next one will be your chain 6 and single crochet in the chain space, chain 3, single crochet in the chain space, chain 3, and single crochet in the next chain space. So now you're just basically repeating the virus stitch. Alright, so how we end the row is chain 3 and double crochet in the third chain of the previous row. So what you're going to do next is you're going to chain 3, you're going to turn your work, and you're going to do 9 double crochet in that chain space. So you should have a total of 10 double crochets, because your first chain 3 will always count as a double crochet in this pattern. So you're going to go straight into the chain 3 space, and you're going to single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and single crochet in the next chain space. And then you're going to do 10 double crochet in the chain 6 space. And you're going to repeat that all the way until you reach the center arc, where you'll go from 10 double crochets straight into the next arc, and you're going to do another 10 double crochets. So you should have a total of 20